Hi, welcome. Today we're going to do quite a few things in this video. Number one, I'm going to beat the world record plank hold. I can guarantee that. All right, that had to be close, right? Number two, we're going to have a rough master class on how to master the barbell back squat, one of the best exercises in the world. That allows us to squat very deep with great strength. Number three, we're going to talk about overtraining and some symptoms you might see in your body to decide if maybe you're doing too much. This would be central nervous system fatigue. This is a big red flag. And then number four, the most important thing, we're going to solve a $1 million unsolved math problem. You're about to witness me win $1 million. I also guarantee that. All right, let's hop into it. All right, let's first talk about the barbell back squat. This is exercise royalty. If you care about building muscle or getting stronger or improving your activities of daily living, stuff you do at home, being good at a back squat or squat in general is something that's important. A barbell back squat is one of many variations, but because of the amount of weight that you can move with this exercise, the skill set that it requires, getting good at this will make you good at every other squat there can be. I'm going to break down how to improve your barbell back squat into 3 steps. Step number 1 has 3 components. All right, let's talk about the components of a good barbell back squat. Number 1 would be the bar path. Number 2 would be understanding the relationship of your shin and your spine. And number 3 is understanding triple extension from the bottom of a squat to the top of a squat. Let's start with the bar path. I want you to imagine there's markers at the sides of the barbell. And as I squat down and up, the goal would be to draw as straight of a line as possible. I want that line to be in line with the middle of my foot, not too far forward, not too far backward. Of course, a little bit of variation is a-okay, but the goal is as straight of a line as possible, in line with the middle of my foot. To do so, it helps to understand the relationship of your spine and your shins. If my spine and my shins were to have lines way longer than they are, infinite in length, the goal would be to have as close to parallel lines as possible. It's going to reduce the stress placed on your back and your knees. That allows us to squat very deep with great strength. So the last component is triple extension. It is triple extension of the ankle, the knee, and the hip. Right now you can see these angles are small, and as I stand up or lengthen these joints, all the angles become bigger, they extend. The reason this matters is you want them to happen in sequence at the same time. That would look something like this. If I do my squat and I have my knees extend before my back, I'm going to end up in this hinged position as I stand up, and that's not something you want. So triple extension is key in that you want all of it to happen at the same time. All right, so all that was step number 1. Now that I understand the key considerations of the barbell back squat, how do I do it better? Where do I start? Any squat is a good starting position, but if you really want to get specifically good at the barbell back squat, it pays to practice with the barbell. And my suggestion is to go light to no weight on the bar. Use a light bar and practice the range of motion. You might be shocked how impactful the simple novelty of range of motion is on our improvement of our squat. Meaning that if I have a movement deficiency where maybe one of my knees has a little bit of vagus or varus and it's moving inward and outward, if I'm able to just practice the movement repeatedly with a large range of motion and a light weight, oftentimes we can fix these problems just by practicing. So doing a light weight a lot of times pays a lot of benefit down the line. That is step number 2. Start with the basics, do them a lot, practice the movement, and get better at it. All right, so that alone might be enough to teach you how to do a good barbell back squat, but I do have one more technique that could really improve the way you squat. So getting the barbell on my back, I'm going to set up 2 very small weight plates here. I'm going to put the middle of my foot directly over the center. This is going to teach me to figure out where my midfoot is. That way, if I go too far forward, my toes dip over the front. If I go too far back, my heel presses into the ground. The goal again of a back squat is to keep the weight, the load, right over the direct center of your middle of your foot. So as I go down, I want to pay attention to make sure that my toes are not touching the ground and neither is my heel. All the weight is directly over the middle of my foot. Okay, that took way more squats than I thought it would to get the point across, and now my legs are tired. Let's move on to the world record plank hold, and I'll beat that real quick. All right, so the current world record for the plank hold was done by Joseph Salik, and it was 9 hours and 40 minutes, which basically means I just need to watch Oppenheimer 3 times. All right, play. All right, that had to be close, right? Let's see. Let's talk about something different. So let's talk about overtraining. How do you know if you're doing too much? Well, first of all, I want to acknowledge the fact that there are some people who believe that overtraining doesn't really exist, that there's no amount you can't do, which is absurd. There definitely is, especially when it comes to cardio, and definitely in some cases when it comes to resistance training. The issue lies wherein that it does not affect everybody the same amount. There are general understandings of what is too much, but ultimately there's some individual variability where maybe I can handle more exercise than someone else, and there's other people that can handle more exercise than me. So what I aim to give you here is things to pay attention to in your own body to determine that if you, yourself, are doing too much. In a future video, Ben and I are going to dive way deeper into this topic, but for right now, here's the idea in a nutshell. Number one, are the results you were getting or the progress you were making, is it regressing or has it plateaued? You may be doing too much. Were you getting stronger and now you're not? Are you even getting weaker? Were you losing fat and now you're not? Are you even gaining fat? You might be doing too much. Number two, are you experiencing a greater than normal amount of fatigue? Maybe you even have brain fog. You wake up and you still feel tired. Your workouts are much more lethargic. Have you heard of the term dead leg? It basically feels like you're walking with cement on your feet. Your legs just feel like they're weak and you can't really move them. This would be central nervous system fatigue. This is a big red flag that you might be doing too much. Number three, has your sleep been impacted by this? If you're not sleeping well anymore and you've been exercising more, that might be related. Correlation does not imply causation, so I cannot say that that is directly it. There might be other variables affecting it, but if the other two exist and your sleep is bad, it might be safe to say that you're doing too much. So again, your experience might be different than someone else's, but these are some general red flags. Things you might need to do are cut back on your days of weight training. Maybe you're doing less sets, less reps of each exercise. Maybe you cut back on the days you're running or the time you spend running. There's a bunch of different ways you could change this, but ultimately, sometimes the best answer to get more results is to do less. All right, here we have the Reimann hypothesis. This has been an equation that has existed over 100 years, almost 120 years, and is yet to be solved. There's a company that will pay you $1 million if you're able to solve that. So you're about to witness me win $1 million. Here we go. Okay, can't do that. Thanks for watching, like and subscribe, and have a wonderful day. See you next time.